So Cyclone Alfred's landfall has been delayed until Friday evening or Saturday morning, and that has some important implications in some good ways and some not so good ways. So on the one hand, there is a bit more time to prepare. And also the slow interaction with the coastal islands may cause the system to weaken. But it does also mean that parts of the coast will be exposed to some of those severe weather impacts like coastal erosion, damaging winds, huge swell, and also heavy rainfall for longer. And some of those severe weather impacts have already started and will just increase as the cyclone gets closer. A cyclone also feeds off warm waters, and more time over water can sometimes mean more opportunity to gain energy. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case with Alfred, which is a good thing. It's expected to be a Category 2 at landfall. Category 2 means winds strong enough to potentially cause roof damage and also bring down large trees. But Alfred will possibly weaken to a Category 1 as its form moves onto the mainland. Now, the other thing to look out for is the high tide mark. So you don't want the landfall to line up with high tide because that means the storm surge will have a bigger impact when it comes to things like coastal erosion and inundation. The high tide for Gold Coast is 2:30 p.m. on Friday and 3:30 a.m. on Saturday, and about an hour or two later for Brisbane. Once the cyclone makes landfall, it loses that crucial ingredient of warm water, so it will rapidly deteriorate. But that doesn't mean the impacts will be over. The threat of heavy rain from decaying cyclones can actually last for days if a system remains slow moving, and actually most flooding occurs after the system peaks. And there is a lot of rainfall forecast for southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, particularly from Brisbane to the mid-north coast of New South Wales. So you've got to be aware of that. Of course, these situations can change a lot, so it's best to keep up to date with the ABC, which is running a live blog, keeping you updated with all the forecasts from the Bureau of Meteorology.